my answer is on topic, but from a slightly different angle, if that's okay. If I look at everything that's written about the field of management, and if I look at the way that people manage, partly as a result of that, partly as a result of, if you like, their experiences, everything is written from the point of view of the manager, the person who's doing the managing. And as a result, what you end up with is all the language is around command and control. All the language is about how the manager gets value out of the subordinate. And I don't think there's a single book written today from the perspective of the employee, the person being managed. Okay? So you can argue that this is a problem with the academic writings, but in fact it's also a problem in the way that big companies work, because we all learn our trade, if you like, from business school and from the books and so forth. So the biggest design flaw, if you like, is that we have developed a way of managing that is all from the perspective of the person who's doing that managing. And if you can invert it completely, this is the seeds, if you like, of a radical remedy. Because if you say to yourself, what is the point of view of the person who is being managed? What are their anxieties and fears? And if you like, what are the things that they actually would like to be allowed to do? And in fact, if you kind of take it to its extremes, if you like, employees are cynical. That's why Dilbert sells so well, Employees live in this sort of state of suppressed fear. Fear of losing their job, fear of upsetting their boss, fear of doing the wrong thing, fear of lots of different things. This is not to say that employees walk in the door literally terrified, but they are paranoid about stepping out of line. And as a result, this breeds a lot of problematical behaviors. For example, risk aversion. If given the choice of doing something a little bit risky, with a high probability of failure and not doing it at all, most people will choose not to do it at all. So there are many of the problematical behaviors in organizations arise because essentially people live in a state of concern, of skepticism, of cynicism and fear. The best way out of this problem is to say, what is it that employees really like? If you actually said to an employee, when you did your best work, what did it feel like? What was the nature of the management that was being done to you? Basically what they'll say is, I did my best work when, frankly, I was left on my own. I was given a chance to basically get on and do a project without interference, without anybody kind of telling me what to do. Employees like to be allowed to do that good work. They like to be surrounded by interesting people. They like to essentially work in a place that has some sort of higher order meaning or purpose. They want to be recognized and rewarded for the things they do. I don't necessarily mean financial rewards. I mean rewarded in terms of people around you who you respect saying, you did a great job there. And if you think about it, those are not the sort of traits, if you like, that your average manager is actually getting out of their employees. So my radical remedy is to start with almost writing the book of management again from the point of view of the people being managed, and to try to understand what turns them on and what turns them off. And if you can start there, you actually, I think, will breed a completely different philosophy of what good management is all about.